Danny, Eastleigh at home tomorrow. Are they a bit of a surprise package this season, do you think?
I think you would have said yes a few weeks ago, but I think by Lee's own admission there, I think they've only won one in their last 6, and he's obviously very disappointed in that because they were really flying. And I think for a team that had one of the best defensive records up until recently, to concede 8 in their last 2 is something that, knowing Lee very well as I do, he'll be very disappointed with. And sometimes it's the old wounded animal shout, isn't it? When they come in, everyone thinks it's going to be another 3 or 4 goals they're going to concede. Sometimes it goes completely the other way. We've got to make sure that we don't take anything for granted because they're a very, very good team. And Lee's done a great job there, and they're in the playoffs as it stands. So a direct rival can't be taken lightly at all.
Yeah, I don't think many people would probably have predicted them to be so high in the table at this stage of the season after the last couple of years that they've had. From what you've seen of them, what makes them such a difficult side?
We've got some good players, and like I say, until the last couple of games, they're ever so strong defensively, whether it be set pieces or open play. We've got about 5 lads, I think, over 6'1", 6'2", so they're physical. But people like Charlie Carter, who the supporters know here very well, though he was injured quite a bit here, he's a hell of a good player. And obviously the lad Whitehall's one of those who can just score from the halfway line if he wants to. So they've got some players that can, some would say, Mavericks, that sort of player. And then they're also set up within a system that's quite, at times, rigid and hard to break down. But that's not saying they don't play some good football. So they've got a little bit of everything. And I think the last time they got in the playoffs was maybe Ben Shrevens a few years ago, so they'll think it's overdue to get back in there. And Lee will be hoping these last few games they turn the corner because, their form's been disappointing. But like I always say to you, Lee, and the form for me doesn't mean anything, especially when teams come to this stadium, as we well know, and raise their game. And we've got, as I say, we've got to be on our game and make sure whatever performance Eastleigh decide to bring, we match it at least and beat it to get the 3 points.
What do you think is going to be the key to winning the game tomorrow then?
I think taking your chances. I think against York was the first time all season we've scored first and lost. Which doesn't soften the blow at all. But we've got to play better first and foremost. That we did against York, then we did against Yeovil. Those times when we sort of let everyone down in a way with the result and the performance. I think if we play well, we usually win. I think Oldham we played really well, but as I said to you, the results don't lie. You can play well and lose, but obviously you don't deserve to win because they defend better than you and they score better than you. So whatever happens tomorrow, whatever the performance, we've got to win. If we win our last 4 games, regardless of the other teams, I think we'll finish 3rd. And that's no disrespect to Woking, but I do think that will be the case. But time will tell.
Eastleigh played in midweek as well at home to Gateshead, so they've not had a lot of preparation time for this one. Does that play into your hands a little bit?
Maybe. I think probably Gateshead were the luckier side of it in terms of they played them just literally after they played Aldershot. And I think Lee made some changes, some surprise changes, but he knows what he's doing. It's obviously lads he felt needed resting, the likes of Whitehall and Harper, who are big players for them. So I think a couple of days rest now. I think it's been a long season now, so wherever your games are, lads are feeling fatigue, even if it's a bit underlining. They might not know it, but they probably don't run as quick or as fast as they did on the first day of the season or midway through, because it takes its toll on the body. But yeah, I think now they've probably had a couple of days breather. They'll be good to go. They've got a good squad, like ourselves. So I don't think fatigue will be an excuse for them. They'll have chance to rotate. But yeah, I'm sure Gateshead caught them off guard a little bit the other night. And I think people should take that result and performance with a little bit of pinch of salt.
I think everyone will be looking at the fixture list tomorrow and seeing this as an opportunity for Chesterfield to get into that 3rd spot. I know that you're concentrating yourselves, but with Woking going to Notts County, I think everyone will be looking at this as a big opportunity. Do you see it that way as well?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to go 3rd regardless because they kick off a bit later, don't they? Am I right with that? They kick off on telly. So, it's certainly if we win, it'll make it a nice, everyone get a cup of tea and sit down and watch that game and all be cheering on Notts County probably the first time in our life. So That's the incentive. That the final whistle, if we win, we go third, and then after that, things take care of itself. If Stoke win and then Woking win, as I said, it's all ifs and buts. But the here and now is we have to go and win. We have to beat Torquay, and we have to go to Bromley, win, and Maidstone, and you can only aim to win games. It's so many things can go against you, and in that 90-minute spell of any game. But I think if we, like I always say, if we turn up and give it our best in front of our home crowd, I'm sure we'll get the result, and then hopefully Notts County do us a favour afterwards.
It feels like you've been in this position before quite a lot in the last few weeks, where you've got a good result, and then you've been on the cusp of getting that third spot, and then maybe had a little bit of a blip or a setback. So is there a determination within the group now to really take advantage?
I think so, and I think because of it's mad when you and in the office we've got a big obviously calendar thing of the whole season, and it seems like yesterday we were organising Matlock away pre-season, and now it's literally 2 weeks left of the normal season. So it does fly by. It's been a roller coaster in many ways for supporters, being up, going for top, and then having a bad run and having a great run again, and at the moment luckily we're on a good run at the right time, hopefully. So I think it's as I said to you before, I'm not an over-believer in form, but if you always rather have good form than bad form, obviously, about talking nonsense. So yeah, it's a great time for us to be on a good run. But even Maidstone at home last game of the season, who were relegated, we can't take anything for granted, because it's the wrong time of season now to take your foot off the gas in any shape or form.
Just the one win in 7 at home. Why do you think it's been so difficult in the last sort of couple of months at home?
Ooh, great question. I think sometimes away from home there's a team. Even though we're the bigger team most of the time, there is that onus on the home team to come at you. And we were watching clips this morning at Dagenham about how sometimes we're attacking and they've almost got a back six. We get teams' wingers to go back and help out their fullbacks, and as much as that might be frustrating for the Dagenham or whatever home crowd we're playing against, it does make it hard for us to break it down at times. And then comes your decision making. Do we cross early? Do you cross late? And it's all hindsight. If you don't shoot and nothing comes of it, we should have shot. You know what I mean? If you do shoot and nothing comes of it, we should have been a bit more patient. So it's always easy after to say we should have done this, but I do find that away from home, teams come onto us, so we do have a lot of the ball. And then I think, to be fair, the likes of Tyrone, Grimesy, Palms, Loza, when we have got that 1-0 lead, they're soldiers, and they can ride storms and they can defend and clear their box and whatever. So sometimes at home maybe the onus is to go and get a second goal or to kick on, and you got to remember there's a lot less pressure on teams when they come here. Like even Eastleigh tomorrow. There's no disrespect, they're the underdogs and rightly so, because of the league table, because of the size of the clubs. And so there is that almost free hit element for teams where we've got the pressure on us in front of big crowds, and we say to the players, it's great. You'd much rather have that pressure, believe me, than not. You'd much rather have the pressure of being up the top of the league than down the bottom. As fans here well know, the last few seasons ago, nearly went into the Conference North, and you compare that pressure to the pressure of going up. It's night and day, isn't it? So there is a pressure here at home, but what the players do love and have to remember is that when you do win and you're clapping the fans and there's 8,000 people, singing their names, what a great feeling. And I think that's the target the players have got, that come 5 o'clock tomorrow, the whole town's bouncing.
It's been great to watch the team home and away this season. Does it feel like sometimes though the team, when they get sort of in and around that final third at the edge of the box, that maybe they're trying to be a bit too precise, waiting for that perfect opportunity to have a shot or a cross or score it? Because it sort of feels like that at times that unless it's almost a guaranteed goal, they won't take the shot on. Almost.
I think obviously before I was here years ago, when the manager was here before, he's very big on patience and sort of waiting for that penetrative pass to be the right pass. And I think more times than not this season that's worked, And like I said to you, it is always hindsight. I think if you're patient around the box and something comes of it, great. And if not, you think, maybe we should have crossed early, maybe we should have shot earlier. But like I said to you, after at Dagenham, there's nothing worse, I don't think, sometimes, than seeing a team that doesn't really know what they're doing. And I think at Dagenham you saw a team that's got an identity and got the the way the manager wants them to play is coming out, and that's a credit to the lads, because like I said to you, they're showing the game plan, and it's like anything, when you're winning and scoring, it's the right way to do stuff. When you're not, there's going to be criticism. So I think if we get the result tomorrow, being nice and patient, it'll be great. But yeah, I think there's decisions. It's all about decisions with players. I think there are times where players can shoot and can be more patient. And like I say, it's only after the event that they should have done the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of team news then, Raheem Shackelford went off at half-time at Dagenham with a bit of a hamstring strain. How's he?
Not good. No, I think he's going to miss the rest of the season in terms of the sort of league season. Hopefully, maybe around for the playoffs to be available if needed. But yeah, he's done his hamstring reasonably bad, so I can't see him being involved for at least the next 3 games.
That must have been disappointing for him and you as staff as well then, because he'd obviously been in and out of the team this season and seemingly been given his chance to impress, and unfortunately he's been scuppered by injury. Yeah,
he is, and I think he was, him and Kingy, I think obviously as the season's gone on, supporters have seen a lot more of Raheem. We can't forget how much Jeff's contributed to the team up until this point, and then obviously Raheem, when he's been called upon, has contributed to some great results and performances. So yeah, it's up to Kingy now, because he hasn't got Sheck's breathing down his neck for that competition, so he's going to have to perform, but like he's been doing most of the season. But yeah, it's disappointing for Sheck, because he's waited so long to sort of get a go. He gets a go and gets injured, so no, bless him. He's a great lad, and hopefully he'll be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. And Dobra, how's he getting on?
Really good. Yeah, really good. We were looking potentially for Torquay initially to be involved with. Whether that changes, I don't know. I'm sure he won't be available to start against Torquay, but hopefully he can be available for the squad, even if it's just getting on the pitch and doing the warm-up and feeling part of it. But yeah, worst ways, he's back for the playoffs, but definitely, famous last words, should be the game or two before then.